What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in, and I see you guys clicked it, even though you've probably been told by realistic like 3, maybe 5 different people. Don't overcomplicate this process. The GALLUP is not something that you should be studying for. It's not something that you can game, and I'm here to tell you it's a 50-50 of that. And I'm proud of you guys because you're like me. You want to be even more confident going into the system. You want to put your best foot forward, and you're perfectionist. This is your craft. You want this role that you're going for, so why would you not try and look up information on it? Not that you can game it, but at least you can come in more confident, and that's what this video is about. I'm bringing you guys my top 7 tips that I honestly think will make you guys just feel so much better and so much more confident going into this. For the people that are like, oh man, I don't want to watch this whole thing, go grab the ebook down below. It's got the tips, it's got over 100 questions that are really based around this in general, just the GALLUP. It's not a bunch of other filler stuff. It's literally the GALLUP type of questions. I have a buddy that just took the GALLUP, went through all of these questions, and a majority of them were there. So if that is something that you're interested in, it is $2.99. Just go grab it, and yeah, whatever. Don't watch the rest of the video, but for everybody else, we will get into this. It's going to be awesome. The tips are going to be great, and you should come out of this feeling a lot more confident within yourself, because that is what the resonating theme of this little video is going to be. It's all about confidence, but these tips will really set you apart from everybody else. So let's jump on in. Tip number 1, list 5 to maybe 7 experiences that you believe can help answer most of all behavioral style questions. And I say that because whenever you are looking to answer these kinds of questions, that's what you're pulling from. You're pulling from your memory and the experiences that you had. For somebody like me that's been in sales for several years now, and just having a pretty eventful background in life, it's pretty simple for me to think about the question that they're asking me and be able to come up with a story that happened to me and be able to walk them through it. But not everybody has a ton of experiences, and that's not bad. I mean, a lot of people are just straight out of college, and you don't want all of your experiences to just be something based around college. So this is going to be really helpful for those folks, as well as people that have a ton of experience, because maybe you have too many experiences and you don't know which one to pull from. So I would just suggest, getting about 5 to 7 different experiences, some about winning, some about losing, some about having a conflict with somebody, whether it be an employee or a customer, how you dealt with these situations, things like that. Think about those kind of memories and have them fresh, kind of write them down so that that's what your mind is starting to think about, because that is what the GALLUP is. The GALLUP is completely based around those kinds of experiences, and they want to see how you handled the question that was asked to you. Like, how did your experience answer it? And did you answer it in a manner that they wanted to hear that answer? Tip number 2 is don't be afraid of that silence, okay? When somebody asks you something, a lot of times what everybody wants to do is immediately, boom, boom, start talking and trying to say something. And that's not always, the best thing. So when it comes to this type of interview, it's okay to be silent for a little while. Don't let it go on for 15 seconds, but process that question. Listen to what you were just asked so that you can come up with the best response and the best experience, the best scenario in your mind to answer that question thoughtfully. Because if you just jump right into it, you might start talking, and as your brain is thinking about the question and how you're going to respond to the answer, it could get kind of jumbled up, and you could start trying to pull in something else that wasn't happening, and then you start stumbling over your words and it becomes a problem. So don't do that. Just relax, okay? That is one of the tips too. Relax. Just breathe, let the questions come in, take a moment and answer the question. Tip number 3, don't overcomplicate the process. So when I say don't overcomplicate it, what I'm talking about is don't sit down. I just told you to pick 5 or 7 experiences. Don't list 30. Don't try to go and think of some kind of experience for absolutely every possible answer or question that you're going to be asked. Be smart about this. It is just another interview. You're a confident person. If you got to this interview, you've obviously shown some kind of worth. Now they just want to make sure that your personality and your background and experiences match well enough to the people that they based their questions off of. So for people that are interviewing like how I did for a company like Stryker, they're looking for that winner's mindset. Not everybody has the exact same kind of rubrics as to how they built these questions, but it's always a positive thing to just go in with that type of confidence. Now, tip number 4, you're not going to receive any sort of feedback throughout this entire process. And this could last anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. So that's kind of weird, right? Like, you're used to at least getting some kind of feedback, some kind of reaction to what it is that you are saying. So prepare yourself for that. Like, as soon as they ask you a question, it's literally just silence and you responding back to that question. Then when you're done speaking, they will ask you, is there anything else that you want to add? Do you want to change your response? And your answer should be no. You should have answered it completely the first time, and don't be that person that's like, oh, you know what? I don't think I explained that too well. Hold on, let me do that again. But like, hey, stick to what you said and go with that. Don't, try to, again, overcomplicate the process. Be confident in what you said and move on to the next question. Tip number 5. Don't try to cram all of this in at once. And if you guys have noticed, down below there is a link to a new ebook where I, give you guys, I think it's like 112 or so questions that have been used within the GALLUP. A lot of them are really recently used. I have some feedback from one of the other people that I've spoken to, and a ton of those questions were in there. So if that's something that you guys want, it's in the link below. Super cheap, $2.99. Just go grab it. It'll at least, ease your mind as to what it is that you should be anticipating is going to be happening next in this interview process. But back to the tip, don't cram it. Like, if your interview is tomorrow, I'd still buy it. It's only $3, but at the same time, I wouldn't sit there and read every single question and try to think of an answer and a scenario for every single one. Just read and understand the types of questions that you're going to get asked and be done with it, okay? Like, you can't cram and try to do this, because the problem when you do something like that is you're not going to sound genuine anymore. And these proctors, they're trained to be listening to like your emphasis and how you're answering these kind of questions. If your question sounds very rehearsed, they're going to note that down, and it's just going to hurt you in the long run. So don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to cram it. Don't try to think of something for absolutely everything. Be confident in yourself. Do you see the trend in this? Just be confident, okay? Tip number 6, when in doubt, it's all about winning, okay? It's all about winning and juggling more. You are a multitasker. You take on challenges. You are actionable. So when you're answering these questions, like, think about that. Think about how you stand out compared to somebody else. How if a situation is going wrong, you're going to figure out how to make that situation go right. How if you're losing, you're going to do whatever it takes to start winning because you want to win. This is your finisher. You want to win. Regardless of what company you're interviewing for, they want winners. They don't just want minnows in the water, So make sure that you're portraying that throughout this interview. And lastly, tip number 7, I believe that this has got to be probably like the most important one, and that is chill out, okay? Take a walk, maybe drink a beer, a glass of wine, something. Just chill out before your call. Don't, again, cram, don't start studying some more or anything like that. You need to relax, because if you come into this thing tensed out, it's going to sound it in your voice or resonate in your voice that you're tense. Again, you might start sounding a little bit rehearsed. Different things can really start kind of ruining that interview for you. So chill out. Try not to do anything the half hour before besides, like I said, drink a beer, have some wine, go for a walk, hang out with your dog, something. Just get your mind off of it, because the more relaxed that you go into something, the more confident you feel. If you're that interviewer that smells like they need this job, you're not getting the job. You've already lost it. So be confident in yourself. It's been resonating throughout this entire video. Be confident, chill out, grab the book so that you feel even more confident, and then let me know what you guys think. Now keep prepping and click that video.